video is about willpower. Willpower, when to use it, when not to use it, and when to tell it to hit the road, Jack. We're going to talk today, when we talk about willpower, we're going to talk about things that we don't talk about normally. So no, we're not going to talk about billables. No, we're not going to talk about marketing. No, we're not going to talk about productivity. We're going to talk about things that really matter. Like, when is the last time you've sat next to your spouse or your friend and held hands and just watched TV and have popcorn? When's the last time you went outside and played ball with your kids or tussled around with them on the floor? When is the last time that you really were there in bed with your partner or your mate or your wife or husband and cuddled and just spent some time enjoying each other? Unfortunately, these are the things that go by the wayside the more successful an attorney gets. So that time passes by and the people that live in your house become strangers. And you can't remember the last time you had a good belly laugh with them. Can't remember the last time you tussled on the floor. Or you can't remember the last time that you really looked your husband or your wife in the eye. If you want to have romance in your life, you have to have time together. You have to have tenderness. You have to have laughter. You have to have all those things. And all of a sudden, it looks like you're living with a roommate. This is where the willpower pushes everything out of the door that is meaningful and is helpful to your productivity, your marketing, and your billable. Many attorneys believe that if they just push and do the grind and sacrifice, it will eventually pay off. The only thing is that it never pays off, because what started off as a temporary thing becomes a lifetime. You are on a hamster wheel and you can't get off. And so the willpower to keep going, because that imaginary place where you're going to be able to kick back, spend time with the family, the time when you think that you're going to eventually be able to kick back and relax and have time with your mate or spend time with your children or relax, never comes. Even when you're home, you're looking at your devices, you're checking your email, you're preoccupied, and you're thinking about a problem at work, and the people that are around you at the dinner table, your spouse, they become invisible. And also, when you think about it, when you look, that they become background noise, and the main thing that you're focusing on is your law practice. And you believe that's the cost of being an attorney, and it's not. Willpower will eventually end. It always does. Everyone thinks that they're different, that no, I can push myself, I can push the grind, and it'll never come back to haunt me. Time after time, the willpower runs out. You're running on E, and you look around, and there's a shamble. There's nothing but a shamble around you. A shamble of your health and well-being. Sometimes it's your mental health, sometimes it's your physical health, sometimes it's your emotional health. The shambles of the relationship with your children. You look up, and they're gone to college, and they're strangers, you don't know who they are. And worst of all, your spouse. Your spouse gets pushed aside so many times that you're not even hardly on speaking terms. You talk about the family business, you talk about the things the children have done, but you have no tenderness. Where is that girl or that boy that you fell in love with? They're still there, but so much time has gone by and you're strangers in the night. The sad part is that you tell yourself it's only a season. Only the season never ends. A missed recital, a missed ball game, a missed dinner, checking your phone all the time, all those things that you think is just a season. Once I get through this trial, once I get this billable hours, once I make partner, once I make equity partner, it never ends. The sacrifice that you've made that you thought was temporary ends up costing you so much more than you could ever imagine. And you're wondering, how did it happen? And you'll have excuses and you'll say, oh, that's a price of moving up the ladder. Look at the financial benefits they have. Look at the college the kids get to go to. Look at the house that my spouse lives in. And then many times the spouse would settle for a less expensive house. The husband would be happy to cut down on the lifestyle to have his wife. Without that, no one goes to the grave and says, oh, I wish I'd worked a little harder. No, they're wishing that they had spent the time in their relationships. Too many fathers come home and one day they see, oh, my child is going to college and I don't even know who they are. And they're gone and they'll never be back. And I missed it. I missed their growing up. I missed participating in their life. I missed the whole thing because I was going to make sure that my willpower, achieving the grind, was going to do the job for this temporary time, but it turned into a lifetime. You thought it was a temporary time, and it turned out to be your lifetime. I was talking the other day with someone who was thinking about becoming a client, and they were very confidential, and they shared some confidential information, which I will share with you because I'm not going to tell you their name, I'm not going to tell you who they are, but this, what they said was, I don't know what happened. I don't know where the years have gone. I don't know what happened to my marriage. I don't know what happened to my children, but I know that I am a lonely man. I am a lonely man, and I cannot believe that this is my life. He said, I feel burned out. I feel numb. I feel exhausted. I feel lonely, and I'm unhappy. Even though it looks good on paper and the bank account looks good, I missed so much and sacrificed so much to have this. Not only was he tired of being exhausted and all of that, he missed his family. He missed his daughter, he missed his wife, and he just felt like there had to be a better way to life. But he fixed it. And want me to tell you how he fixed it? He fixed it with pancakes on Saturday. So on Saturday morning, he became a chef. He had an apron and he brought the family in, his wife and his daughter, and he started to make pancakes. And they would all sit around the table, syrupy fingers and all, and enjoy each other every Saturday morning routine. No phones, no work. It wasn't a productivity tool. It was just family having pancakes. It was that easy. It lit up his family. It lit up his wife, his daughter, and it lit him up. And his productivity and everything that he was exhausted at work lifted because he was taking the time to connect with his family. We are not made to be these lonely individuals in a cave working. We really need to connect with our family. And when we connect with our family, it wasn't a productivity tool. It was just family having pancakes. It was that easy. It lit up his family. It lit up his wife, his daughter, and it lit him up. And his productivity and everything that he was exhausted at work lifted because he was taking the time to connect with his family. We are not made to be these lonely individuals in a cave working. We really need to connect with our family. And when we connect with our family, everything else in your law practice works. So don't put the cart before the horse. Put the horse before the cart. And the horse is connection with your family, connections with your friends, connections with your health, connection with your well-being. Connection revives us and gives us the strength and the power that we want in order to have the life and the career and the law practice worth living. So we're going to talk about your willpower, because the willpower that you might be thinking of when you think of willpower is the willpower to grind it out at work, the willpower to work hard, work long hours, make the sacrifices. We have another way that you can get your willpower back, your energy back, is connection. Connection with your family has proven that when you put the time with your family and you enjoy your children and you enjoy your neighbors, that's where your energy comes from. There's a scripture in the Bible said that iron sharpens iron. Being connected, when we're just by ourselves in this lonely tunnel of work, then we don't have the energy. But when we connect with our spouses, connect with our children, connect with our neighbors, connect with ourselves. So what does this look like? It's like going for a family bike ride, or just like the person mentioned earlier, fixing pancakes in the morning, or doing a puzzle together as a family, or going out to play tennis, riding bikes, going on vacations, going for a walk. Something as simple as Thursday night, I'm going to come home early and we're all going to go for a family walk. Then we're going to go have ice cream together. Do you know what an impact that'll make on your family? This isn't every day. This is one evening, just like the one morning for pancakes. Taking that time to connect fills your bucket so that you're able to go into work and be much more enthusiastic and productive because you're feeding your soul. You're feeding your energy. We must feed ourselves, not food and alcohol and drugs and tranquilizers and all those things. Feed your soul. They're right there. Your family. Feed your family. Put your devices down. Have just a time zone. We're going to go for a walk. No devices. We're going to have dinner. No devices. We're going to have pancakes. No devices. We're going to have family time, because when we connect, then we are more productive and more energetic. Now, not just think about yourself. What about your child? Doing that one activity a week. It could be 2 or more, but I'm just saying one activity a week. How do you think that's going to affect your child when they go to school? They're going to be connected instead of having an absent parent or a preoccupied parent who's in their device and the child feels like they don't count. It doesn't take much. We think like we have to go in these broad measures, like go on vacation, which is great, go on a trip, which is great, go out to dinner. This is great, but you could just do one simple thing, which is we're going to ride the bikes on Saturday, or we're going to go out and fix family dinner. We're going to go out and fix family dinner on Thursday. We're going to have pancakes on Saturday or Sunday. Whatever it is, have a routine so that you feed yourself and you feed your family. You're not using all this willpower. Now you have connection and the willpower fades away, but you find yourself more energetic with more productivity and more work done. Let's just multiply your energy. When you do that, the multiplication from you to your spouse to your children cannot be quantified, but the benefit is going to spread out and multiply in your family, in your community, because you made it a priority to connect. So I'm just going to say it as plain as I can. You don't need another system. You don't need another technology. You don't need another advice. What you need is you need to connect. That means taking the time. The depression will lessen. Your body functions will work better. It's proven fact that when we connect, we have so much more to give and the more we receive. And we can't give out something out out there that we don't receive more back. So let's just think about it. If we start taking seriously our families, connecting with our families, connecting with our spouse, and doing those things, we will see huge return. You're not just a lawyer. You're a husband or a wife. You're a parent. You could be a grandparent. You could be a son or daughter to a sibling. You're a friend. All of those are connections that allow you to perform at your highest level. It's just not you, it's your spouse, it's your child. You're all on a mission to become your best and to be there as a family and to connect. Don't let anything or anyone steal that connection you have with your family. Your children are going to be up and gone before you know it. Once the breach gets between you and your spouse, you become strangers in the house. You don't have to do that. You can connect. Connecting equals dollars, not willpower. Willpower doesn't equal dollars. Maybe temporarily, but not in the long run. So if you are connecting with your family, if you make that as a priority and you see how you can do this, you will see that your life and the life of your children is going to be so magnified, so much happier, so much more alive, so much more joyful. Don't steal from your life. If you like what you're seeing here, we'd love for you to subscribe, click the button, and you'll hear more about how you can let go of the grind and connect and have the thing that's really happy, really best for your health and well-being is that connection. One last thing. If you like this, click the button and subscribe.